everybody, welcome to Impossible Coin. Apparently, I have just presented a challenging idea which my co-hosts are struggling with. Struggling with this challenging idea is Rocky Hardy.
Struggling, no. I'm outright rejecting it. I'm not losing this fight. Trust.
Also, potentially outright rejecting, maybe struggling, Tegan Somerset.
Definitely struggling because, as we all know, I am fresh out of the slammer, so I'm trying to reacquaint myself with civilian life.
Jail is hard, and podcasts are lies.
I'm not going back to jail, Brian. I don't think I can lie on this podcast.
I'm just saying that podcasts are generally built on a foundation of lies and white women jogging.
Wait, is that a common thing?
There's only so many people who can be murdered and then have podcasts recorded about it.
Okay. How many of those are there really? Like, I have no idea. I don't know the podcast meta.
At last check, and I used a system where I gathered data over the course of a week of observation without interacting with the subject at all.
AKA lying.
There are at least 34,000 podcasts recorded by white women for white women about murders that they did not commit.
It's so that you have the resources to commit the murder should you need it.
Then it would be more like car talk, only about killing.
Welcome to Kill Talk.
Okay, no, Brian, let's get down to brass tacks. Guys, Brian wants to tell you, our gentle listeners, that podcasts are built on lies because he doesn't want to watch his cats. That's the thing. He doesn't want to observe his cats to see what they're doing. And I think that's lame. That's where I'm at.
I mean, I watch my cats all the time, regardless of whether or not I'm interested in what they're doing. So, like, I don't see why this is a problem, because if you aren't always looking at your cat, what are you even doing?
Look, first of all, I am always looking at my fucking cat. I'm just not taking notes. I'm not going to take notes. Notes are stupid.
They're not even notes, they're tally marks, man.
I'm not going to take tally marks. My cat went to the vet this week. You know, like, I already spent all my time looking at my fucking cat. Like, I don't need to add tally marks to the mix. Don't need it.
What if instead of tally marks, you just took a quick snapshot with your phone?
Oh my God.
Anytime it met one of the mundane criteria listed on the spreadsheet.
You want to know my cat's HP? What does shaved butthole translate to?
Well, that's definitely a weakness which can be exploited, but it doesn't tell us that much about HP.
Actually, you know what? My HP is shaved butthole. Like, there we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. Okay, what?
So your HP is the regular human experience?
Oof. Wait, what? No, hold on. Shaved buttholes are not the meta. There's no way that's true.
What was it that Kennedy said? Ich bin ein shaved butthole?
I don't know what timeline this is in, but I don't like it.
It was when John F. Kennedy, he went to Berlin, and he gave a heartfelt speech, and he looked out on the German people, and he said something that wasn't, quite correct German. He looked out on them and he said, Ich bin ein shaved butthole.
Somehow I think that's incorrect.
I would need to check the tapes.
We're a video game podcast. We don't need to talk about assholes.
We are ostensibly a video game podcast, yes. I played the Untitled Goose Game.
How is the Untitled Goose Game?
Friends, let me tell you about the Untitled Goose Game. It is very...
Wait, first tell me, does it cost money? Am I gonna have to invest, like, $6 or whatever into this game?
I don't know what kind of game you think this is, but this is a $20 video game.
Hell yeah! Okay, so I am gonna have to invest money into it.
Yeah.
I want it!
Yeah, it is currently on sale on the Nintendo eShop. And it is $15 right now.
Oh, heck.
Believe that the discount expires after this episode goes up. So if you've not yet bought it, go fuck yourself.
Damn tragic.
So, probably just as far as like how the game plays, it is closer to Metal Gear Solid 1 than it is to Hitman.
I'm going to need you to walk me through that.
So, modern Metal Gear Solid game, like Metal Gear Solid 5, and Hitman have kind of like an over-the-shoulder from the behind-the-back camera perspective, where what's important is that not only does anybody who can like interfere with your objectives have a limited cone of vision, you the player also have a reduced cone of vision because you can truly only see what's in front of your character, be it, Solid Snake or Agent 47. Like, you can see what is in front of your character. You cannot see what is behind your character, and things like that. Metal Gear Solid 1 had kind of like a tilt-shifted top-down perspective where you could see a lot more of what was going on around Snake. So you could present stealth puzzles that required a greater range of knowledge than simply what is in front of the character. Untitled Goose Game also puts on the shoulder buttons an ability to zoom in or out the camera. Zooming out the camera becomes a skill that you use pretty frequently in order to be like, okay, I need to steal this toilet paper because I'm a bad goose.
Naughty goose.
But I also need to make sure that the lady who runs this like street stall does not catch me while I'm doing it. So I need to create a distraction for her and then get out of her little shop before she sees me make off with this toilet paper in my beak. It's pretty cool. I like the fact that each environment has like multiple goals in it, and there's ways that you can like push at the environment to kind of reveal secrets. The first area, which is kind of a training area, really, it's not like explicitly labeled, I'm a training area. It just seems to be a training area, is a garden with a single gardener in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a variety of ways to annoy the gardener, including things like making off with his pumpkins and turning on the sprinkler. And a lot of like what you're doing is like Hitman in that like characters, the various AI have like paths and routines and things that they would be doing normally if you were not interfering with them. So like one of the first puzzles that the game gives you is like get the gardener wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so how do I get the gardener wet?
Compliment him.
God damn it.
Okay.
I don't know why you didn't see that coming. That's another way to get it done. I'm feeling chaotic energy in this Chili's tonight.
We have a rare appearance from Horny Tegan today.
Hey, no, I'm not horny. I got a brand to protect.
So ways I found to get the gardener wet.
Mm-hmm.
Include complimenting him.
But also,
he periodically would need to get on his knees to manage his carrot patch. He would need to use his trowel to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I would steal his trowel when he was off doing something else. And then I put his trowel in the pumpkin patch, which is where the sprinklers were. And so then I would wait outside the garden until he goes to find the trowel in the pumpkin patch, and then I would flip them on.
And then he gets sprayed by the sprinkler!
And then I found another way of getting him wet. He has a like large tank of water in the garden, which he periodically uses to fill up his watering can. I put the trowel beneath the spigot for his water tank. And so I did that. And so when he went and stooped over to pick up the trowel, I then just opened the faucet on the tank, got him wet that way. And then another thing I did was I just took his fucking keys. He was bent over doing something. And so I took the keys like right off his hip and he chased me. And so I ran out of the garden with my wings spread wide, honking, holding his keys like a little dickhead. And I ran into the lake with his keys. I just dropped his keys in the lake. And so he had to get into the lake to get his keys. I found full on 3 different ways to make the gardener wet.
This is amazing. I need
Yes.
this juice game. This is going to be my gateway drug to Hitman. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
It's really good that stealth games have ways of communicating stuff like characters' vision cones. But this is like by definition like a very cute game. And it doesn't want to do stuff like explicit like vision cone indicators above characters' heads. So if the character is aware of you and watching you, they will just like turn their head to look at you. And your goose will turn his head to look at them as if he's challenging them.
You want to go?
And the game has a dedicated honk button. You have a button to honk.
Honk.
Press B to blow.
Some characters can be like initially fooled by you just honking back at them. They're just like, whatever. He's a fucking goose, whatever.
Well, Look at this stupid goose.
Look at this fucking goose.
Look at this weird cat.
Yeah. What?
Oh, Brian. We'll show you that video later.
And so, like, you'll honk at someone and they'll be like, all right, whatever, it's a goose. But there's lots of, like, creating distractions, hiding behind objects. There's stuff like foliage to hide in. Like, when I was trying to steal stuff from the gardener very early on, that was the game teaching me that there's, like, certain stuff that, like, you can, like, hide in. And I would duck into one of the patches in the garden that was, like, high, like a thicker, higher vegetable. So I would, like, duck in there, and he couldn't see me. And I was like, this is great. And so I would just, like, sit in there, and I would honk. And because he couldn't see where it was coming from, he would, like, go looking around the garden to try and find where the honking was coming from. At which point I would use that to, like, advance my position.
Okay. So you would, like, and then you sneak.
Yep. Also, like, smaller characters, like children, are intimidated by you when you spread your wings wide and then honk. And there is a full-on spread your wings wide like a dickhead button.
Hell yeah.
So you can, like, run around with your wings spread, like, honk, honk, honk. I trapped a kid in a phone booth because I'm a jerk bird. So that was good, too. Very winning art style, very cute animation. He is a good bad bird. Strong reco. Right now, it's just available for the PC and the Switch. So if you were looking to play it on a PS4 or Xbox, tough rocks, pal. But
So you got a Switch? You fool. You absolute buffoon.
I wouldn't go that far, Tegan.
Brent's just like, Tegan, calm down.
But it is a good time.
It sounds like a good time, honestly. So how many levels have you done? Or have you only done the, like, initial...
There's not really discrete levels. Like, it's kind of an open world. Like, everything chains together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You move from one area to another. Like, it'll kind of signal to you, like, when another path to the open world is, to another area in the open world is going to get opened. Like, when I had irritated the gardener a lot. Like, a lot. He put up a sign in the garden that was a picture of a goose with, like, a no slash through it.
Okay, anti-goose.
The goose is canceled.
And then I got a notice that I had a new goal. And so I opened my goal notebook to see that I had a new goal. And it said, make the gardener hit his thumb with a hammer. And so I said, no problem. So I waited until the gardener went back to work, and I pulled down his anti-goose sign. And then I stood beside the anti-goose sign, which I had pulled down, and I honked
Like a proud
defiantly.
goose.
And he came, and he shooed me away. And I was like, that's what you think. And I waited for him to pick his sign back up, plant it in the ground, and grab a fucking hammer in order to secure it. And I waited till he was on his downswing, and I honked again.
And he scared himself and smacked his thumb.
And he scared himself, and he smacked his thumb.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great game.
At which point, the angry gardener opened the back gate of the garden in order to, like, go get, like, a first aid kit thing. So I was able to, like, follow him out through into the alley, which, like, led into the town square. And so, like, that's kind of how it works, is that, like, every area, like, seems to connect with other areas, and there's different ways to open up areas into other areas. And then everything leads back into places that you've been before. And you don't necessarily need to clear every goal in an area for another area to become open. Like, there was something which I never did in the garden, which was figure out how to make the gardener put on his sun hat. But when I had done enough in the garden, he put up the anti-goose sign. Even though, like, the populations grow as you move from area to area in the game, in each area, it seems to be that there'll be, like, a primary antagonist, the main person who your goose is supposed to be annoying. And so, like, you might have some objectives which are about, you know, other people, but there'll be, like, either a big objective or the most objectives which are about, like, a particular person. And it seems to be that in each area, one of the things that you're doing is collecting items and putting them all in the same place because you're a little thieving goose.
Mm-hmm. So you have a horde.
Yes. The first thing that you did was to put a bunch of stuff on a picnic blanket. You're like, have a goose picnic. And then the next time you're doing it, they start to teach you the idea that people can interfere with your hoarding. Because there's the little lady who's running the street side shop. And you're trying to put things into like one of the little hand carts. But if she finds things in the hand cart, then she will take them out. And so like trying to get them all in there at the same time, requires creating a series of distractions for her and being fast and quiet. So far, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Like, I think you guys know that I am predisposed to games like this. I like my stealth. I like my AI routines. And so when I have a game which is like, please do stealth and memorize AI routines, I'm like, fantastic. Is this game about a bald man who does murder? Like, no, it's about a goose. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's great. Like, between that and Slay the Spire, I'm really having my itches scratched these days. I finally got my first clear in Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it, like, amazingly satisfying, or were you just like, well, now I gotta do it again?
Well, I felt like I squeaked it. I felt like I barely got through. I felt like my clear was more attributable to luck than to excellence.
Skill. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm taking another pass at it, and hopefully I can get a clear that I like more. Also, it has finally become apparent that whatever tools they have automatically screening letters in kind words has become overwhelmed.
Is it?
I received a letter in kind words that just said butts.
What? Really?
Yes.
I can't tell if you're lying or not. Wait.
Someone spent $5 to buy this video game to send a letter that just says butts. My guess is the reason it says butts is because kind words is filtering more aggressive profanity. Because obviously I haven't tried to send a letter that says fuck, because what am I, a monster? My guess is that this person tried to send letters that were more aggressive and they got rejected, or they got some kind of notification that the letter was unseen. And so in an effort to try and get people to look at some dumb letter, they found the sauciest word they could that the algorithm or the filtering mechanism would not reject, and that word was butts. Tegan?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
God, that's just like, that's such a human thing to do. We're so boring.
What,
Really
people?
shit,
Yeah, people
yeah.
are terrible.
Why are people terrible, Brian? What if they didn't have to be terrible?
I think people are compelled to be terrible.
Aw, stop it. Send better letters.
I mean, a lot of the letters are like, please help me, I'm struggling. And a lot of the letters are, please help me, I'm struggling so much that it's obvious I need serious professional health care. And for some reason, what I've chosen to do instead is buy this $5 video game, which makes kind words like this weird conundrum, because I feel like the idea is generally good, but I think it's got this like bell curve for like abuse possibilities, which are people who have bought it for the lulz and people who are like, it seems like a great idea to rely on this as my only support mechanism. Yeah.
Not good. Don't do that.
So like the kind of cute, quaint idea of just like a thing that looks like Animal Crossing where you just send nice letters to other human beings kind of gets lost in the mix. Because like conceptually and in execution, kind words is very, very good. I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. Like I love the fact that the chill music changes when you log in. It's like, hey, today's music is by so-and-so.
Oh, that's neat.
Which is kind of like a cool, like, check out their SoundCloud kind of feature. I think that, like, once there's less new release buzz around the game, there will be less people who are writing butts the letter. Like, butts the letter will go away as, like, it stops being a satisfying target for an abuse vector. But what I'm not sure will go away are the people who are like, can I rely on kind words? Like, I don't know if those people will go away.
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should, but I also don't think they should be relying on it as their only coping strategy.
Well, sure, an ideal world, but, like, my understanding is that a lot of people are acclimating to the idea of, like, looking after their mental health. And so, even if, assuming that they're a person of means or a person with access, then maybe they shouldn't be putting all their efforts into kind words and talk to a licensed professional, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the people who happen to buy kind words don't have that kind of access or means.
But still, then you're potentially running into the issue where you're relying on people who also need someone to rely on?
Yeah.
You know?
It feels like it may be just hurt people looking after each other. That might be part of the user experience of kind words. And that is a strike against it. But I feel like if that's a reasoning for people who want to vent to not engage with the property, I think it ultimately hurts the property. I don't think it makes it better.
Okay.
But it sucks that she got a letter that said butts, Brian. That couldn't have been fun.
So, I mean, I guess my problem, Rocky, is that, like, if everybody who's got kind words is, like, being like, you know what, I'm kind of bummed out and I'm going to bring my bummed out time here, that's a lot to ask of someone when, like, somebody's already struggling to be like, hey, you just got a letter with, like, suicidal ideation in it.
That's entirely valid. I guess, I have a different interpretation of the letter that simply reads butts. It definitely could have been a troll or someone who's trying to, you know, fuck around in the system.
Right.
But I could definitely see a scenario in which there's someone who wrote, like, an actual letter that they were trying to talk about what they were trying to talk about, and they put the word ass in it, right? And then, like, the filter of the game tossed out their entire letter. Like, and it's not like it's saved in a draft somewhere. Like, it's fucking gone. And, like, they may have poured over the letter for some amount of time, and they didn't want to do that again. And then when they heard about, like, the content filter, they decided to test it through other means. So they're not going to write the whole letter all over again. They're just going to send a test. So they send butts, and it goes through. And I don't know if there's a way to track, like, what letters are written by which people. In fact, I hope that there isn't.
I mean, I hope it exists server-side. Like, right. I certainly hope that, like, the devs have access to that, because that's something that needs to exist just purely from, like, a user safety perspective. But I can tell you that as a user, when I get a letter, it'll just show, like, the signature being, like, the first letter of whatever they told the game their first name was upon registration. So you'll be like, my name is Butts, and it'll say, like, you got a letter from B.
Okay. I feel like testing the system isn't, like, an ideal use of the platform, but I think I can understand it. But, you know, I could just be being optimistic, which is a thing that I do sometimes in the light of things like this.
Will y'all get any butts this week?
I'm going to decline to answer that question, but I have been playing some video games.
Yeah.
I got Sayonara Wild Hearts because it came out on Friday, on the day the Apple Arcade came out, and it's cool. It's different than what I usually play. It's explicitly linear. There is very limited interaction. For the most part, you are on rails, moving forward, and your interaction as a player is to simply dodge obstacles and collect a collectible, usually stars. But the game is telling its own story, which is mostly nonsensical, but it's definitely fun to watch unfold because it twists and turns a lot. It's very colorful. Its soundtrack is really great. It feels like Lady Gaga and Carly Rae Jepsen adopted a kid together and taught that kid how to play, like, on a synth board. It's great. I like it a lot. There is some precision to it, and there is some depth in terms of, like, trying to maximize your score to get, you know, the 3-star rating or whatever you want to call it. I rode a motorcycle through a busy town. I fought 3 different motorcycle gangs, one of which attacked me with a tank that was made of 3 different robot wolf tanks.
A tank made of tanks?
Yes. Tank.
I also ran into a person that split themselves in half with a sword and was 2 people, and then I fought them with their giant swords that later combined to form a plane. So I don't know. I'm on some sort of vendetta. It's really fun to do, and it's really linear. Like, I don't expect to spend more than, say, 5 hours total with it, but it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying, like, playing Sayonara Wild Hearts. In fact, one of the things I want to do is once I clear it, I want to see if I can put together a gold-only run, because the game is incredibly cinematic. Mm-hmm. And I want to see if I can get, like, a singular playthrough, just, like, chapter through chapter, hitting all the notes, missing no obstacles, so I can, like, splice it together and see, like, what that movie looks like. But, you know, that's a stretch goal. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Are you playing this on Switch or on iOS?
I'm playing on Switch. I don't have an iOS device.
Very cool.
I've also been playing a lot more Monster Hunter, and I really got to spend a lot more time with it this week. Like, I've gotten through most of the main story. I've already taken down the flagship monster, Velkhana, which has, like, a trio of quests that are really cool. I get to fire a spike into its chest. There is a great moment where, like, the monster, the flagship Velkhana, shows up in a place where it's generally not supposed to be. Like, it's just in a different ecosystem. And it doesn't look like it's antagonistic. And my job isn't really to kill it or anything. It's just to repel it, try to observe what it's doing. And during the conflict, at some point, it basically, like, evolves. So, like, it's kind of this, like, ice dragon, but then it gains the ability to essentially chill the moisture in the air around it, which at first just, like, coats it in, like, a bunch of ice spikes, but then it gains an attack that literally allows it to freeze the air around you and drop giant ice blocks on you, which, you know, just sounds wild. And it's really cool. There's also some of the classic monsters I've got to fight already. I haven't gotten to Xenogre yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I've fought Savage Devil Joe, and it took my lunch at first, but I got the clear. It has, like, some new moves that make it a lot more aggressive, hence the Savage. And it's definitely, you know, a unique challenge, like the difference between Tobi Kadachi and, like, the Viper version of it. I actually am really happy with the new Gathering Hub. Historically, Monster Hunter, when you're playing a multiplayer game, gives you, like, a special area that you can go to where you can basically stand there pervasively with, like, other players. You can check out each other's armor, like, emote at each other, play, like, cooperative games, and you can start hunts from there. So, like, some of the functionality that's in the normal town where you're, like, picking all your stuff, you get access to in the Gathering Hub. In World, there's one of those. It's actually in a ship that's at the top of, like, the island or whatever, and you're able to do most things up there. You can still make your food, you can change your loadout, and you can pick up quests, but you can't do other things like build new equipment or manage your investigations and stuff like that. Like, it's just that functionality just wasn't there. They made a new one for World in the new town that's in that you have, and all the functionality is there, which is just a huge quality of life improvement. And in Celiana, which is a town in the tundra, you also have, like, a series of hot springs that you can hang out in now. And so you can essentially strip out of your armor and just, like, hang out and sit in the hot spring. And you can also pet your cats. And you also have a series of interactions with them. Like, you can tease it with a feather. You can hold it over the hot springs so, like, they can dip their feet in it and stuff. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Also, you can blow up your camp with the Steamworks, which is cool.
So, earlier this week, Rocky, you sent me a hateful message.
I don't think... Okay, sure, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. So this is what happened, Tegan. I was just sitting there minding my own business. And all of a sudden, I get a notification on my phone that Rocky sent me a message. And I opened it. You won't believe this. It said, Brian, we should clear Anjanath together this week.
You should!
That is what I said.
Why is that a bad thing?
Well, you gotta remember, Monster Hunter World specifically is Brian's nightmare. And Anjanath is the creature that ultimately ousted him from the game. So, you know, asking him to re-engage with that nightmare may not have been the most kind thing I could have done.
I mean, but it's certainly not the cruelest thing you could have done.
That's not for me to judge, Tegan.
Fair, I suppose.
So, Rocky played Sayonara Wild Hearts, and Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter, Iceborne, takes Manhattan.
I would actually be really interested in how Monster Hunter would evolve into an urban environment, but that's a whole other thing. I guess it'd just be like a kaiju battler. It might not be as interesting.
You know, if you're just like a little dude, you know, with some other dudes fighting a Godzilla.
Godzilla's really big.
Okay.
Like, really
big. So I
big.
guess like maybe Godzilla's like your raid battle.
Either that or like the last boss, like in the whole game, and then we're done.
It's kind of like you.
But what about Mechagodzilla?
Oh god, Tegan, we don't have time.
What about all of the monsters that Godzilla is protecting Japan from?
No, that's the thing. Like, we fight Godzilla at first, and it turns out Godzilla's just looking out for us, like she always is.
Yeah, and then like you have to fight Mothra and stuff.
It feels like that Mothra is increasingly in more and more iterations of Godzilla lore, like just kind of like Costello to Godzilla's Abbott, like just it's like, hey, are we gonna go fight, you know, King Ghidorah? I'm down. I'm a fucking moth. What do you want from me?
Well, that's because here's what happens: is Godzilla uses his laser breath weapon, and Mothra goes light and follows Godzilla around because Godzilla can make light.
Okay.
Mothra's just drawn just like a moth to a lamp outside. He's gonna slam his head into it a couple times, get really confused, and die.
I want to talk about a very special subgenre of
He loved lamp.
stupid art on Twitter I hate.
Okay, this is my favorite thing, is when Brian talks about art, because half the time we're on DeviantArt and half the time we're on Twitter.
I don't know when it happened, but the internet decided that the most important thing it could do for about 5 minutes was shipping Godzilla and Mothra.
What?
It's definitely a little less wholesome than, like, Godzilla is a mom.
And so, like, there's all this art out there of Godzilla and Mothra. Sometimes they're anthropomorphic Godzilla and Mothra, and sometimes they're just like big old fucking Godzilla and a moth. The amount of like Godzilla and Mothra art just like absolutely confuses me. Like, what do you?
Well, Brian, I think I found a YouTube video that might elucidate that for you.
Aw, that's so cute! Why is Mothra the girl?
That is weird.
I already don't like this video because she said, is Mothra and Godzilla a couple, and not are Mothra and Godzilla a couple. So this video is unwatchable 5 seconds in for me.
You hate to see it.
That's a lie. I'll watch it just later. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this. Oh, it's because she got a fur coat and a ball. Oh
God
my
damn
god,
it.
I love it. That's adorable.
I
That's so cute.
I can never tell if this is a fucking
That's
work.
so cute. Oh, I love it.
It's because you're getting worked, Brian.
Brian, may I also point out that earlier today, I retweeted the fucking Monster Hunter monsters designed as Animal Crossing characters because that's heckin' sweet. I love this stuff.
Oh yeah, the Gajinkas?
That's cute. Yeah. I love Gajinkas. They're fun to cosplay. They're fun to see people's like artistic interpretations of. Meanwhile, Rocky sent me this video of like Mothra lying seductively on top of Godzilla, and I've got some emotions about that, and they are not the cute emotions that this stuff is giving me. Oh, little hug. That's sweet. Little hug's okay. Not this seductive weirdness. There's two moods here, and I like the one Brian is presenting a lot better.
Okay, it's all bad, Tegan.
There is. Did I say there
It's
is
all
two
bad.
moods here?
Like-
Because I want to.
Godzilla,
No, it's cute. It's all good art.
horny Godzilla and horny Mothra, that's bad. Schmoopy Godzilla and schmoopy Mothra, that's bad too.
Schmoopy?
You know, schmoopy.
Aw,
God damn. All right, fuck it.
Schmoopy
Just
means
fuck
soft. Is that what that
Fuck it.
is?
Rocky, what else you got?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to talk about this anime. I'm going to do it. It's happening. The anime is called Do You Love Your Mom? And her two-hit
I
multi-target
was really
attacks.
curious as to what this topic was going to be. I just thought it was something you were going to shout at the guy you were angry at.
What?
Oh no, it's an anime, and it's about a guy and his mom who are trapped in a video game world, or is it a full-on isekai?
It's a MMORPG. It's a full isekai.
Okay.
Yeah, so like his mom, is feeling distant from her son, and she would like a better relationship with him. And there's an experimental game that's being developed, which is actually an MMORPG.
Massively mom.
I think it's like Maximum Mommy Multiplayer. No, Maximum Mommy Massively Multiplayer Online RPG. There's an extra M. There are 4 M's before ORPG. And so they're transported into the game. And the thing is that like, it's a standard RPG, which, young people understanding the language of games and maybe RPGs specifically have a bit of prowess there. So the exchange is that the mothers, who usually aren't familiar with that type of stuff, are like made incredibly powerful with increased stats and legendary weapons. Hence the title. The protagonist's mom gets 2 swords that each have 2-hit multi-target attacks, which is what she wanted specifically because she read the manual before they went in. The son was absolutely surprised when this happened. But she wanted to impress her son and, like, gain his approval by, like, being powerful. But obviously, the boy getting a chance to be a part of a video game, but doesn't get to do much because his mom is so powerful, every fight ends in a second. So that complicates their relationship a bit. The anime itself is standard anime nonsense. There is copious fan service. There are cute girls and some actiony fights, but for the most part, it's a gag anime. Like, it's just full of jokes and punchlines. Whenever the mom tries to solve a problem in a matronly way, as opposed to like a grisly way or a combative way, the game basically bends over backwards to give her something powerful so that she can do what she wants. But the reason this anime is interesting is because while the protagonist is definitely a staple of each episode, we're not really focusing on him or his relationship with his mother that much. Like, probably for the best, because the way that it's going, it's seeming like the son has some sexual tension and it's currently directed at his mom. That may be the dev's fault more than the kid's fault. That's a whole other thing. But the interesting thing is that the other girls that are populated throughout the anime, which would normally build into a harem, seem to be examining dysfunctional mother-daughter relationships. The first arc was a mother-daughter pair who, the daughter had separated from her mother. She just decided not to play with her in this world anymore because the mom realized that she was busted, and she started like augmenting the code with some outside help to essentially build a male harem of her own instead of focusing on the relationship between the daughter and like the mother, which is the actual win condition of the game. So they end up going to find her and they end up essentially talking it out. And that kind of emotional work is like rare in like anime that usually look like this. And there was another one where we had a 3-episode arc following a tiger mom and a high achieving child. And, their passive-aggressive anger towards each other and their underdeveloped communication skills. And so it looks like this anime is putting together these types of, like, moments, but, they still have jiggling boobs every 10 minutes in case, you start to get bored or whatever. So, I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm having fun with that.
I think that if I ever become something which is not a human piece of garbage and finish the work on setting up the Patreon, which I'm really going to try and do this week, work's been fucking exhausting, guys. It's been real. It's been really real. I had 2 8 p.m. nights this week, and when those are 8 a.m. mornings, you feel them. You feel them. Yeah. Especially when you, like, only get up from your desk once to go to, like, the, like, vending fridge of shame and go, like, well, from vending fridge of shame, I guess I'll buy this, like, Gatorade and a Lunchable.
Sounds like a Tegan diet.
That just sounds like a regular lunch. Yeah.
Jesus.
That just sounds like a regular lunch, my man.
It's not a regular lunch. I feel for you, Brian. Tegan, please start eating better.
Hey, I had some real food tonight. I had ribs.
No, I'm not going to dispute the
And a
legitimacy of
potato.
ribs. Like, don't... I think that the thing that is going to exist immediately on the next threshold up from pay for Tegan and Rocky's stardom is pay for Brian's Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Because at which point...
I'm very excited about this.
Because that'll full-on turn this show into the complete pile of garbage that it really can be. And I'm very excited for that. You know, if we're like, hey, everybody, we're here for video games. Also, by the way, Brian watched this show where there's an MMORPG and titties in it.
That's like every MMORPG show.
Yeah, true. That's why you gotta be careful, Brian. Don't watch Sword Art Online. Don't watch Sword Art Online. Don't watch Sword Art Online.
So what you're saying is I should watch Sword Art Online.
Don't watch Sword Art Online. No, don't do it. Don't do
Let's
it.
see here.
No, Asuna suffers from a bad case of terrible writing.
Because, Brian, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna watch the pilot, and it's like, I don't understand why everyone's so mad about this show. This looks like it's a really cool concept. This is a really interesting thing. I want to see where these characters go. And then it's a boring-ass harem anime forever. It doesn't stop.
It is. I'm so sad about it. I'm still watching the new
God damn
seasons.
it, Tegan.
I'm so sad. I want it to get good.
Tegan,
Please.
Tegan, why would they get good if you keep giving them your attention?
Tegan.
That's
Tegan.
not any way that anyone grows.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's what they did is, the writers already rewritten the first light novel and made it less, like, self-fulfilling harem anime and more, like, actually surviving in an MMO, and I'm hoping what's gonna happen is it's gonna get Brotherhood treatment, and they'll redo it.
I wonder how many figures it's gonna sell.
Probably still so many, because it's still got all the girls. They just actually do shit this time.
I'm skeptical.
If it doesn't end with Asuna and Kirito fucking fighting it out, then who cares? She should be able to kick his ass.
Yeah, free. That shouldn't be close.
She's so fast.
Okay. Well,
Like, I have no idea what's happening.
yeah, but it's not your fault. As longtime listeners to this show may know, there's a thing I do when something gets brought up on the show, which is that with some irregularity, my response to things getting brought up on this show is to search for it on DeviantArt.
God damn it, Brian. Sword Art Online, oh, dude, we're never going home.
Why did you sort out online DeviantArt? No, it's all gonna be Asuna fucking with the slim
I'm not looking
dudes.
at that. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, that's not. What the fuck is that? That's not what I expected. What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? What? Who's this other dude? What the fuck? I don't like this, Brian.
I love to see boys
Brian, I
with
don't
such
like
healthy
that.
appetites.
Brian, that's not what I thought this
Shush
was
now,
going to
just
be.
eat up, love. I knew you could both manage some more.
Disgusting. Stop it. Stop it! Stop it. She's a good... She is
Apparently
so. much potential,
so,
and they
as
fucked
do they.
her under. No, not even for that. Stop it. Brian,
it has
no.
been guys, it has
Looking
been
at-
a long time since I searched DeviantArt and was legitimately confused and upset by what I saw. So, congrats, Deviant. Oh, there's a sequel.
Ah, here we go.
No, I don't want to see the sequel. Brian, I don't. Please do not subject me to that. Please do not subject me to that. Please. Please don't. I'm asking very nicely.
I
Please don't. I cosplay this character? Please don't. Please do not. Please do not. Please.
All right, I'm not doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I've just been completely derailed by this. Rocky, I'm sorry. I can't deal with this alone.
I'm not looking at either of these. Are you kidding me? We've talked about this, Brian. I swear to God, I don't know why you keep going to DeviantArt. Like, it's not some weird, you know what it is? It's as if, like, if you told me about a TV show, and, like, I went to, like, Rule 34 for it, like,
right.
Immediately. Like, you told me about The Good Place, and I, like, Rule 34 The Good Place. Let's see what happened. Whatever. I'll look at this one. What's the sequel? Oh, did you delete it?
Oh, no, I put it in a chat to just Rocky.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Because I can't bear that alone.
That responsibility? Thanks. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, this is pretty standard stuff. This is the...
Where is this standard?
This is the degeneracy that I have come to expect from DeviantArt.
Where is this standard?
It's on DeviantArt.
I mean, I understand that it's called DeviantArt and all, but...
Mm-hmm. Where's the confusion? I want to hear it. I really want to understand. Oh, God, but this is a much larger image. That's what I should say, Tegan.
Fair.
Nope.
Fair.
Did you just send me a brony fucking Good Place art?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. It's
okay.
It's horsekin.
I'm alright
like,
with this. That's fine with me. I'm fine with that.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, Tegan, what have you been doing?
I'm gonna go from least exciting to most exciting. The least exciting thing is my roommate from college who lives in China is back. And he's gonna be hanging out for 3 weeks. And I'm very excited. Yeah, he's staying at my mom's. And, oh god, it's so great. I missed him so much. He's so cool. We're actually gonna play Pokemon Go later this week. Like, specifically, we're running around the area playing Pokemon Go, because he hasn't gotten to play since he left.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah! I'm excited. It's gonna be fun! And then, the more exciting news, because I've been playing Link's Awakening. Picked it up on Friday.
Sorry, how long has it been since you've seen your friend?
Since I've seen my roomie? I think 2 years? About 2 years.
Okay, continue.
I'm excited. Well, I mean, he's cool. So after college, he got a job working in the U.S. for a while, and then his visa ran out, so he had to go home. And now he teaches English, which is fun, because I taught him English. Not, lots of English, but I taught him, more conversational fluency than...
Yeah, like idioms and swear words.
No, he could swear already, he just chose not to. In the alignment chart, he would fall under has sworn before, but has decided not to. And now it's just cadence and stuff that's a little wonky. Now we're gonna talk about Zelda, because it's Zelda, and that's the only thing that's gotten me through this week.
Okay. I have heard that it's a good video game.
Yes. It's a very good video game. This is my favorite Zelda. No joke. When I made that, we did somewhere a while ago, we talked about, top 5 Zelda games because a wrestler posted their top 5 Zelda games, and I, went to the moon even though I didn't need to. And I think I said, if I didn't say this one was my favorite game, I put it in my top 5. I lied. This is actually my favorite Zelda game. The dialogue's all goofy. It's it's super straightforward. Oh god, it looks so good. It's so good. He's so good. My tiny son. My little boy. He's all round and shiny. And I hope that they remake Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages 2 in this style, because oh my god, he's so cute. So I was supposed to get off work at 1 p.m. on Friday, and instead I got off at 6 p.m. on Friday, and between 6 and midnight, I beat the first 4 dungeons. And then Saturday, I only played for 2 hours, and I beat 2 more dungeons.
Oh my god.
And today, I haven't played because I'm prepared to beat the game because it just means I get to play it again. But, and then I can play, like, I can go back to playing, like, Astral Chain and Fire Emblem and, like, games that I actually should be playing for, like, well, 1, because they're good games, 2, because I was really enjoying them before I stopped, and 3, because, like, they're probably going to be part of our Game of the Year conversation, but, like, is Link's Awakening. I'm so happy. So, did either of you pick this up, or did you play it originally?
I have never played this video game. My copy arrives tomorrow.
Brian, you're killing me. God, I hope you like it.
I'm very, very excited. Everything, I like weird stuff. This game is weird. I'm looking forward to getting into that weird. But, like, when I had a Game Boy as a kid, the stuff I would play for it on it was, like, more, like, platformers and Tetris. Like, I never really got into, like, adventure games or RPGs on a Game Boy. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. How about you, Rocky?
I did not pick it up. It is on my list of things to do, but I am currently occupied.
But did you play it before?
Yeah, no, I've played, like, Link's Awakening, I think, twice, 3 times? 3 times. I played it once in my youth. I played it once for Complet, and I'm sure there was a playthrough in between there for something. I just can't remember why. I just think I played it again. Oh no, Link's Awakening DX, Super Family Complet.
Okay. Got it. Good. It's a good game. Oh my god. I'm having so much fun. So, like, the main, like, theme music for the game is called The Ballad of the Windfish. Brian, you're gonna hear that song a lot in the game. And, one, they did a great job. It sounds so good. And, 2, the first time I got, like, into the game and I heard the first, like, not the first time you hear it, but the first time, I talked to Marin and she sang it, I cried. Oh my god, it's so good. She's so good, and it's so good, and this game's so pure, and, like, oh, I'm so happy. They did such a good job with it, and I really don't want to spoil anything because Brian's never played it, but Brian, if you ever get stuck, you can just text me, and I can probably walk you through it from memory.
I'm definitely... Go ahead.
When I'm going through dungeons, I keep going into rooms and being like, oh yeah, and then I have to do this, and then I, like, stop and I go, oh, I didn't actually do the other thing that I need to do before I can do this room. Oops.
From what I understand, in this game, there's a thing you can do that'll make people call you thief.
Yes, there is. Are you gonna do that thing?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know how quintessential it is to the experience, but I mean, you can't go shop there again if you do that, right? Like,
right.
Shopping is over.
Shopping at that location is over, yes, and that is the only shop in the game.
Well, that seems like a good way to get yourself screwed then.
No, you don't actually have to shop to, like, complete the game. Like, I mean, you can get stuff, but I think there is a unique item in that shop, but it's not necessary to clear, and most of the puzzles have multiple solutions, and none of them require things that you can buy in the shop.
Okay. Do you guys recommend doing the thing?
At least once.
Yeah, I'd say at least once, but I wouldn't do it early game. I would do it, like, mid game. Like, where I'm sitting, I could do it and not, like, really be concerned with the consequences. Because I've done everything else so that I can easily circumnavigate the problem of, now I can't go in this shop anymore. But then literally everyone on the island calls you thief. Like, no one doesn't call you thief. Everyone calls you thief.
Mhm.
Not just the shop. Everybody. But it is fun to watch, like, that particular cutscene, like, at least once. They did remove the photo element from the DX version, and that's what the dungeon building has replaced.
Oh, okay.
So instead of the photo stuff, you have the dungeon building. The dungeon building is fun.
That's cool.
The dungeon building is actually really fun. Also, there's like a second, it's not like a fetch quest. There's like a second, like, collector thing you can do. Completely optional. I don't know what it gets you, but I'm working on it.
So I will, God, now there's all this pressure. Like,
No, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. But,
well, except for the unspoken pressure of, like, I hope you like it, Brian. If not, you're dead to me.
No. I hope you like it, Brian.
Yeah, no, obviously, Tegan has bet that she's going to quit this podcast if Brian doesn't like Link's Awakening.
Well, here's the thing is, like, it wasn't an initial, like, I'm gonna quit the podcast, but I am gonna kill myself.
Jesus,
Jesus
fucking
Christ!
Christ.
Because obviously then my taste in video games is absolute trash.
Oh,
There's no
no,
redeeming
God,
me.
Tegan. I'm a bad person who doesn't like good things. Like, it's fine.
This is such a good thing, though. Link's such a good boy. This Link is such a good boy. I want him to have happiness. I want to see him grow. Where's that meme reaction sticker that whenever I see him, I fucking lose it. God.
I am really, really looking forward to it. Like,
it makes
in
me
all
so
sincerity,
happy.
I've heard so much stuff about how weird this video game is over the years. This podcast's uncle?
Grandpa?
Yeah, Uncle
Uncle
Spiro.
Spiro. Sounds right.
He is also a bad person that does not like good things. And, like, it seems to, like, warm his twisted heart. So, like,
Does it?
I'm looking forward to digging it.
Does he have a twisted heart?
In like, a lot of, like, the way he and I think about, like, older video games syncs up and, like, has some overlap. So I'm like, well, that seems promising, and I like the stuff that they did with the art style now. Like, it looks like this Link is straight up ready to be a little fucking dentist. He wants to leave this island to go be a dentist, and I'm into it. And he wants to be a dentist.
Link. He's
a dentist, Link. You know, so good stuff.
Well, I hope he warms your heart the way he warms mine.
Yeah.
Because, like, nothing has filled me with as much joy as replaying this game. The week sucked, and then I had to wait an additional, like, 5 hours to play it. And I was dying. And then I got to play it, and I was just so happy. Such a good game. Such a good game. Like, if I could... it's not a remaster, it's a remake. So... Does it qualify for Game of the Year, or does it have to go into Old Game of the Year?
You know, Tegan, that was something I was thinking about today. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Because, I mean, I know we're going to have that conversation sometime before Final Fantasy VII eventually comes out in, 2098.
I think that the cop-out answer is probably going to be, it's going to be different from remake to remake, depending on how much is fundamentally
Rebuilt?
different and fundamentally, reimagined from the ground up. Like, a good example would be like Resident Evil 2. A lot of the stuff that, like, were hard and fast rules about how Resident Evil worked when Resident Evil 2 originally came out are not true in the Resident Evil 2 remake. Like, you don't have to control your dude using tank controls. You don't have fixed cameras which are stuck in one position in the room. Instead, you've got, like, the behind-the-shoulder camera that, like, trails behind you. They manage the way the saves work differently. That guy who follows you around with, like, the little fucking hat on that everybody thinks is hilarious. Like,
Mr. X.
Yeah, like, there's some pretty significant differences with the way, like, Resident Evil 2 was executed versus the original. And I don't know enough about, like, what's different in Link's Awakening versus, like, what's not different. Like, is this a new coat of paint, or is this truly a new thing which is informed by the old thing? It's a tough call, and I think it's something which probably has to be decided game by game.
Okay, well, if we're judging it based by that, then it's not a new coat of paint, but it is an upgrade from, like, Duplo to Lego.
I get that. I don't think our rules were against remakes at all. Like, I know remasters were a tricky area because they fall under the umbrella of, like, re-releases. But, like, this isn't a re-release. They didn't repackage the same game and give it to us.
Yes, this is not a remaster.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination.
And so, like, I think that counts as, like, a unique game. And Resident Evil 2 Remake also fits that bill. Like, they're telling the same story. Video games aren't really judged by their stories. They're judged by their experience. And the experience of playing Resident Evil 2 Remake is not the same as playing Resident Evil 2.
But funny enough, that Resident Evil 1 remaster of the remake that came out, video games. Like, a couple years ago, they re-released the remake of Resident Evil 1 as a remaster of the remake that came out on the GameCube. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't count. Re-release. But
it's not a re-release of the original game. It's a re-release of the remake.
Yeah, it's a re-release of the remake that they made of the game that originally came out on PS1.
Yep.
I got it.
Yep. They don't.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, because they put out Resident Evil 6 afterwards. Like, who knows who was in charge back then?
Do we want to talk about the news?
I mean, we don't want to, but we will.
What news is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, here comes the news. Well, hey, everybody. Who wants to talk about Google Stadia?
We're still... Wait, so Google Stadia hasn't been fully canceled?
Tegan, they're still full-on operating ridiculous slides in Europe.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Were you not here the week that we talked about the slide?
No, I was, but I can't believe they're still operating that particular slide in Europe.
I guess Gamescom is over, so the slide is definitely closed, but apparently the slide was effective as the Google Stadia Founders Edition pre-order bundle has sold out in Europe.
Okay, cool.
As a reminder, the Stadia Founders Edition pre-order bundle includes a 3 months of Stadia Pro, a Buddy Pass, the Night Blue controller, and a Chromecast Ultra. Jack Buser, the Google's director of games, says that the Founders Edition is also close to selling out in the US and Canada. And once supplies have run dry, they'll then shift over to selling to the Premier Edition package, which doesn't have a Buddy Pass and ships with a white controller. But here's the thing. Google can talk about how, like, they're close to selling out the Founders Edition, but Rocky, $1 million question. Does that actually mean anything?
I don't think it means anything different. I mean, selling out in Europe probably makes more sense than selling out here, because one, they probably, like, are offering more units out here. Like, I can't prove that, but that sounds like something that makes sense to me. But also, like, if I remember correctly, I think the EU has better control over telecom than we do here. Jesus
Did
Christ.
you say Camcox?
Comcast.
He did.
Yeah.
He did indeed.
Comcast, AT&T, Verizon are going to do whatever the fuck they want in the US. And likely, like, Mexico, to be honest. And we, like, any person that's trying to, like, build things, like, that use their infrastructure have to kiss the ring first.
Like a snowman?
Well, the UK is the one that I remember most saliently, but if I remember correctly, the EU, like, has more control over the internet there as infrastructure, where private companies aren't able to push and pull versus someone like Google there. And like, I'm pretty sure that AT&T and Comcast both have more money or more assets that they can bully like Google with ultimately in the States, but they're like competing on similar footing here, which isn't the case overseas. I don't think any of this stands to mean that Stadia is going to work as a technology, because there are just fundamental issues regarding game streaming technology that have not been solved yet. But if it sells out there, what it means is that maybe people trust their internet connections more there than, say, in small towns or like rural America. Like, and that's not news, but and I don't think it's going to change much about Stadia's market position here. But good for them, I guess. They sold out the number of Founders Editions they wanted to sell in Europe.
So, okay. Here's a little math problem for everybody.
Wait. Let me get out some paper. Let me get out my paper and a pen. Wait a second. Okay, I'm ready.
If Joey
I got it.
has 2 apples and Tony has 10 apples.
Okay.
And Joey sells 2 apples and Tony sells 10 apples. Are they both sold out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not a math problem. Brian lied.
No, it is, because you have to do the 2 minus 2 and the 10 minus 10. Still math. Still math, I mean.
Yep.
But unless if they're charging the exact same amount for their sets of apples, then Tony has way more money.
Oh, Tony does have more money.
Yeah, Tony would have 80% more money. What?
That is math. Sorry.
It just kind of seems to me, just seems kind of crazy that we don't really have any kind of perspective as to like, oh, we're just about sold out of Founders Editions in Europe. Okay. Well, we don't know what you didn't tell us what inventory levels looked like. So we don't know how meaningful that is. Like, it just seems kind of like a bullshit. Without any additional data, like, that is definitely a bullshit phrase.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
At best, it's like something Stadia is doing to like improve hype. And it's like, hey, people really want this. Like, Europe's going crazy for it. We're already sold out. But let's say that they do have an inventory and that they're set up for a particular test, which may be something that they're doing. But I don't know if they're limited by this. Like, if they decided we could only run so many Founders Editions at the opening test, and so this is how many that we're going to sell to fill up those spots, and they can't oversell, like, that might be something that could be interesting. But, that's wild speculation and not something that I would regularly engage in. But at this point, yeah, without any more information, like, Stadia is just, like, tooting their own horn to no effect.
I mean, on the one hand, I'm kind of glad that they're saying that the pre-orders are selling out, because, like, I hope there are as many non-press opinions of this thing on the internet as possible. You know?
Yeah, that... It would be really funny if there were a lot of people who are like, oh, Founders Edition's sold out. I guess we're all gonna go pick up xCloud then. Or whatever. Like, they actually just turn away business. But if that were to happen, they'd probably say, like, oh, we lied. There's more Founders Editions available. Or something.
Yeah, they'd be like, we have chosen to make more Founders Editions available.
That's it.
And then people would be like, neat, they opened up pre-orders again. Maybe I'll get one. And then proceed to not get one again.
It's the Dreamcast all over again, Brian.
Well, if it were truly the Dreamcast all over again, then, like, it would get horribly hacked on the first day and then become a haven for piracy, and they couldn't sell shit because everyone had already stole it because they downloaded it in their dorm rooms.
Whoa, imagine if that actually happens with Google Stadia. That could be a real thing that happens in the year of our Lord 2019.
Yeah.
Because also, they wouldn't have to download anything. Like, I mean, Google's problem, all they'd have to do is basically kick someone off the service. But if they, like, you know, fuck their credentials to the point where they have access to everything, then they would just be able to stream everything.
I'm in. You wouldn't download a video game. Wait. Wait, that's exactly what we want you to do. Wait, come back!
Yeah, then they're gone.
So, Tegan, what's this about Pokemon Go?
You know, my favorite thing to do is talk about how, only Nintendo properties and all Nintendo properties. So, Pokemon Go is finally removing Pokemon Go stops and gyms.
Like, altogether, they're just out.
No, they're only removing ones who are causing issues for people who live near them. You know how there was that lawsuit in, like, August where they were, like different, like, cemeteries and, like, people who had art near their houses and stuff like that where, like, hey, I've got all these strangers and they're traipsing through my stuff and they're destroying property and it's not cool and I need you to remove this stop. And Niantic was like, maybe. Well, they lost that lawsuit and now they have to remove the ones with a bunch of complaints. They also have to change Pokestop behavior to comply with additional safety regulations. And they have to follow those rules for 3 years from the 6th when all this was handed out. But, like, also, last month they made $176 million, and Gen 5 just dropped, so, like, I feel like this isn't going to be a huge issue for them.
I don't think it's really going to be punitive for Niantic, but the changes hopefully will be a good thing for neighborhoods. Didn't that one lady, like, have, like, her pool turn into, like, a hotbed for Pokemon Goers?
Yeah, because they thought it was, the thing thought it was, like, a lake or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff should be fixed. And, you know, they should be removing, I believe they'll be removing them from, like, most cemeteries and that sort of thing. So, like, you're gonna lose out on that kind of stuff.
But what if you want to catch them all?
You can catch them all, just in different areas. Just not at the Holocaust Museum.
I want to catch them in a cemetery.
No, you can't do that. You have to catch them somewhere nicer, like a school or something.
Why can't I catch ghost-type Pokemon?
You can catch them anywhere. Ghost-type Pokemon just hang out.
But...
Like, ghost-type Pokemon aren't even hard to find, Brian. You just gotta go out at night. And you haven't been sleeping anyway, so, like, there's no fucking excuse.
You don't know that about me.
I do,
Oh,
Brian.
man.
I see you on Twitter. You're wrestling in your White Claw at, like, 4 in the morning.
Look, these are all lies.
No, it's not! Brian, it's not!
Brian is deleting the tweets as we speak.
It's 4 in the morning my time. That means it's, like, 1 at least where you are. Like...
It wasn't that bad.
Nope.
No, Tegan, he's deleting the tweets. There'll be no evidence. It'll be your word versus his.
I am not doing anything of the sort, Rocky. That is a wild aspersion on my kid.
I'm not doing anything of the sort, he says, rapidly clicking his mouse in the background.
Okay, well, I mean, we can just check the times. That's... We're not gonna.
Pull it up right now.
Relax.
You're going to cast wild aspersions on my character.
On your character? Oh, man.
Let's see here.
I'm just saying you were up late tweeting about wrestling in White Claw. I don't know why that's wrong, because it's not. You were.
A tweet from 20 hours ago, 10 p.m. my time. The tweet reads, 644 days. It's happening tonight. Hashtag Nick Gage Invitational 4.
17 hours ago, a wrestling angel got me hot tonight.
Angle. Learn to read.
Angle, whatever. Dude, whatever
So
the
that's
fuck.
1 a.m. That's nothing. That's this.
I did say!
She said 1 a.m. That's a direct
1
quote.
But 1 a.m. That's just paperwork. You know, like,
That is also still 4 a.m. my time!
that's just paperwork. It's nothing.
Yeah, you can catch some ghost types then, like at those hours, man. There's real ghost type hours.
So you're saying I should go to cemeteries at 1 a.m?
Well, not cemeteries, just anywhere. Just turn on your app.
Yeah, just turn on your app. They literally just show up.
Man, that angle.
Man, I don't want to have to turn on an
That
app.
angle got me hot.
I don't know what that means.
I'll trust you with that one.
All right.
Brian.
So, Tegan,
Yeah.
wrestling angles are fake stories designed to inspire real feelings. Okay?
Oh, okay, so it's fiction. No, it's nonfiction. Wait.
So imagine if someone
Fiction.
gave you a fiction and what they were trying to do was to have that fiction so completely insinuate itself into your feelings that that you were like, I'm feeling about this like it were a real thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I already have that reaction to a lot of media, so
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
like that's not exactly a stretch for me. That's just, hey, do you enjoy a fake media? Good job.
So, all right.
Are you able to suspend your disbelief for 10 minutes while you enjoy this thing? Cool.
So GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, had a tournament yesterday, the Nick Gage Invitational, so named after their champion, Nick Gage. Nick Gage. And it is a death match tournament. There was plenty of death matches to be had. There was, in fact, a board with steak knives on it.
Ah!
Apparently Tegan saw the really small batteries.
I did.
And there was also another board which had cans of White Claw. Like the cans were empty and now had been cut, so there were like aluminum cans.
Is that why there was a White Claw shortage?
Oh, no, that's
last week?
because America's drinking a lot of White Claw. But anyway, so...
Why is America drinking a lot of White Claw when it's just seltzer water? And
So the
nasty?
champion, Nick Gage, declared at the beginning of the tournament he was going to put his belt on the line in every match he was in the tournament. For he is a noble
Okay.
champion, and that's what
Yeah.
you do. And so he wins the tournament, not losing, and then a masked villain showed up after the tournament was over and beat Nick Gage, took his belt, and then spray painted something on the belt and ran off with it. And that person turned out to be a wrestler named Ricky Shane Page, who primarily wrestles in a promotion called Big Japan. Big Japan is a Japanese deathmatch promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Nick Gage couldn't come to Japan because he has a felony conviction. Nick Gage can't come to Canada because he has a felony conviction. You want your belt? Come get it, convict.
Ooh,
And
that's mean.
it got me fucking hot. It got me hot. I was angry. I was like, all right, wrestling angle achieved. Fuck this guy.
Well, but how's he gonna get his belt back then?
Well, that's the whole thing. That's the story. How's Nick Gage going to get the stolen belt back?
He can't leave the country.
That's right. It's a whole story.
Oh, wait, I see. Okay, this is the fiction. Okay.
Yeah.
I am picking it up now.
Yep. So
really, in reality, this is play pretend. Like, the wrestling isn't play pretend. They're actually bleeding and stuff. But, this story is the play pretend that they're acting out.
yes.
Cool. Okay.
Yes. There you go. Well, welcome to Wrestling Tegan.
Yes, I'm getting there.
All right.
I'm learning.
And it's a good thing I told the internet that angle got me hot at 1 a.m. And again, I must reiterate, that's just paperwork.
At 1 a.m. Why is it paperwork? There literally is no paper involved. It's just tweeting at 1 a.m.
Rocky, is there anything else going on in the news?
Yeah, man. You remember Valve.
I do.
They are a company. They occasionally do
are.
wacky bullshit.
They often do wacky bullshit.
Well, this time, this is an old thing. They have been being sued in France. The French have come to Valve with a reasonable proposition. They buy games through the Steam marketplace, and they feel like they should be able to resell them. So, have you ever bought a game on Steam and you figure maybe I should turn this in for some money? Or, you know what, my friend wants this game and I don't want it anymore. Maybe I could just sell it to them. You can't do it. Valve says fuck that. You can't trade games to nobody, no how. However, they took them to court and they lost, like 2012, about 7 years ago. They have been countersued ever since. And recently, the organization UFC Care Choisir, I probably butchered that.
Your French is amazing.
What? Thank you. Has recently won that conflict. And Valve now has a month to comply with creating a function that allows people who buy games on Steam in France to resell them. There's a lot of legalese that I wrote down here initially, and I realized none of that's actually the point. The point is that if you live in France, you may be able to resell games that you've bought on the Steam marketplace. However, that future is dependent on Valve actually creating that functionality, for which they've been given a month to comply with. And if they don't, they will be fined. How much, you ask? Turns out it's going to be 3,000 euros a day, up to 6 months. So if they go 6 months after the due date and they don't create a function that allows players to resell games on Steam, they will have to pay this court 540,000 euros. Now, that would be a problem if Valve was a person, but they are not. They are a corporation, and they have a lot more money than 540,000 euros. In fact, they make more money than that in 3 hours of operating Valve's marketplace. So it's a very strong possibility that it may never happen, but this court case has definitely laid down a ruling, and Valve is attempting to appeal.
Which, even if they appeal and don't win, it's not too big a deal because they have a giant pile of money.
Right.
They have knife money.
They have fuck you money. That was going on in France.
Jack Nicholson nodding gif here. Well, I have news which is, I guess, less dumb?
Okay.
But not good. Less dumb, but not good. Sony sets a date for its next Fake Direct.
Oh, they're still doing those?
Yeah.
They didn't give up?
They did not. Yeah. Sony is going to be having a Fake Direct on the 24th. They said that expect their next Fake Direct, what they call State of Play, to showcase stuff from their collection of studios. All right. I'm going to pause here to talk about a fucking ridiculous press release that Sony issued in the last week.
I mean, that would qualify as news, I believe. So
Sony bothered to issue a press release saying, "We own Sunset Overdrive now."
What?
Not we're doing anything with this IP, not like we have exciting plans for Sunset Overdrive, just entirety of release. We own Sunset Overdrive now.
What?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
I mean, to issue a press release that says that you own Sunset Overdrive?
That you own a thing and then, like, nothing else about it.
Well, they did. Because the next phase of the video game wars is the studio acquisition wars, which Sony just figured out. And so they bought Insomniac and realized that, like, Microsoft already bought, like, 1,900 studios. And they're like, well, we bought Insomniac. And so Sony, like, reiterated that, like, buying Insomniac meant that they now own Sunset Overdrive and that they were looking at potentially acquiring some Japanese studios. So regarding the Fake Direct, Sony says expected to be around 20 minutes long.
What? What the fuck are they going to talk about for 20 minutes?
It'll be on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. They said that they'll be showcasing some new games and stuff from Sony's worldwide interactive studios, meaning that this will not have information on Death Stranding, since Death Stranding is not Sony Interactive Studios. But it means that we should be getting information on The Last of Us Part 2. And we should be getting information on Ghost of Tsushima. But you would think that unless it's an incredibly narrow presentation, you'd think that there'd probably be some stuff in there beyond those two things. I'm guessing... I mean, Concrete Genie is like really damn soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Concrete Genie comes out on October the 8th. I would assume that there'd be some information there on that as well. As it is, like, they said, do not expect information about the PS5. This will be entirely software-focused. And in addition to being entirely software-focused, it'll be entirely focused on stuff published by Sony. Any predictions, guys?
Knack 3.
Again?
Knack 3, huh?
Yes.
Jack Nicholson nodding gif.
Is Ico still them?
Yes, Ico is them.
Okay. They would re-release Ico. Maybe Twisted Metal Battle Royale, but I don't think that's actually them.
Oh, that is them.
Oh, sick. Twisted Metal Battle Royale, calling it. And Parappa the SoundCloud Rapper. That's my pitch.
Has anybody already made that joke? Is that fresh?
No, that joke's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? No, I don't care. Doing stale jokes.
Okay. I think we've got other news.
I don't think any other news matters. What the fuck?
Sure it does, Tegan. Tegan, I'm not even going to entertain any fucking disagreement on this. You have the most important story of the week. Please dig into this incredible bullshit.
This incredible bullshit? You mean the Donkey Kong high score lawsuit?
Oh my god, I love this story so much.
This is... Wow! Buckle up. So, like... You know, last April, Twin Galaxies determined that a number of Donkey Kong score tapes submitted by Mitchell, who's the current high score dude for Donkey Kong, were not achieved on a, quote, unmodified original DK arcade printed circuit board as per competitive rules, and decided to remove all of his scores from the listings, including the huge first perfect Pac-Man score.
Didn't Guinness take their records down too?
Yes, they did. And so now, Mitchell has sent Twin Galaxies a 156-page document dump outlining his disputes through a collection of screenshots, witness statements, and quote-unquote technical evidence. I don't know what that means. Like, what the hell? Why is it in quotes? The world may never know. But, like, the core of his claims are summarized by basically saying that he was not provided a fair opportunity to provide evidence to prove his innocence. Like, what the... It's a high score on a Donkey Kong machine!
Okay. I mean, Tegan, how much do you know about Twin Galaxies? How much do you know about Billy Mitchell? How much of this have you guys...
I dug a little bit, but I was just, like, amazed, and so I quit. Because, like, what the fuck?
Okay.
This feels stupid.
You're not wrong.
It sounds stupid. He's got long hair and he's wearing an American flag tie in his, like, deposition from 2010. Like, what the actual... Who is this? Who is this man? I know who he is, but who is this man?
Brian, tell our listeners who this man is.
God.
Okay.
Sorry to this man.
Are we sorry? Are you sure we're sorry?
Billy Mitchell is a world-famous dickhead who was like part of the first wave of people who got any kind of notoriety from being good at a video game. Did either of you see the movie King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters?
No.
Yes.
Okay. This movie kind of goes over the fact that, like, Donkey Kong is an incredibly difficult video game and that, like, there's very little room for error if you were doing something like, say, pursuing a high score on Donkey Kong. And the movie kind of details this, like, Herculean task undertaken by a guy named Steve Wiebe.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy named Steve Wiebe wants to overtake the world record, which at the time was held by Billy Mitchell for high score. And throughout the movie, there's some scenes where we see Billy Mitchell, like, submitting high scores for approval, submitting them via, like, say, video cassette, instead of, like, getting the high score live in front of people where the high score could be witnessed. And people are just like, okay, cool, you know, accepting these, like, submitted high scores, even though there's things that seem to be obvious fuckery with these videotapes.
Uh-huh.
In the intervening time, there's been kind of like a reckoning around high score culture at Twin Galaxies, because like Twin Galaxies for years seemed to operate Twin Galaxies in such a way as to prioritize protecting guys who had held high scores for like decades. Like, oh, okay, this guy's always had the high score in this game, so he will always have the high score in this game. Let's do things to, you know, protect this dude. In particular, there was like, oh god, and I'm blanking on it right now, Rocky, and hopefully you can remember it. There was like one guy who, like, I think had alleged a high score on track and field, which turned out to be impossible.
I remember the incident. I don't remember his name.
It turned out that there was no way to achieve it, even if it was tool assisted. Like, somebody literally got a frame perfect score and was like, okay, so what you're saying is that you got a score which is like literally impossible. And so like as more and more of these guys got torn down and their bullshit exposed, it was all like, when will Billy Mitchell finally get exposed? And he comes across as a fucking cartoon villain. Like, when you're talking about the American flag tie, that's absolutely right. Billy Mitchell is a guy who like walks around and saying such stuff in all seriousness like, Billy Mitchell can't lose. That's an actual sentence Billy Mitchell has said. Like, Billy Mitchell can't lose. And he, like, owns a hot sauce empire. He's got, like, a hot sauce.
It's not very good.
It's not very good. He thinks that with his, like, weird mullet and his strange face that, like, he is sexy to the ladies. Spoilers, he's not. But there's really nothing that Billy Mitchell can't do which isn't ridiculous and over the top. Just the silliest fucking shit ever. It's
actually really funny that you mentioned the videotapes that he used to submit, which like seemed to have some fuckery. Because in his document dump, he actually specifically states that he has never provided videotapes to verify his high score, that he only has verification through live events. And like historically, that's just not the fucking case.
Right. I've got the Billy Mitchell evidence package open right now, and it's amazing. If you, the good people, have not looked at this thing, you should. It's available. You can look at it. And when you open the document, what you immediately see at the beginning...
He's so far up his own ass.
Yes, he is.
This is poorly formatted, also. He should have checked that shit before he uploaded it.
He doesn't pay his lawyers that much.
Oh my god. Why are there, like, Facebook conversations in here?
Because they're part of the evidence, Tegan.
There's a screenshot of a dude with a South Park fucking profile picture in here. There's a document that's upside down. What the hell? Whoa, so professional. Holy shit.
So...
There's a picture, like, that he took with a camera of a Facebook conversation. He didn't screenshot. What the fuck?
Yes.
Also note that Billy Mitchell's trying to take shots at Jace Hall, who is actually a pretty cool dude, and he is the most recent collaborator with Rick Fox after Rick Fox left Echo Fox.
Yeah. From the document, Billy Mitchell's explanation of what the videotape he has shown handing Walter Day in King of Kong for score submission is amazing. So he alleges in here that the videotape he handed Walter Day in King of Kong was not a videotape that was intended for high score submission, that was entirely a work. He never handed Walter Day a videotape for real high score submission, and that was done only for King of Kong the movie, that it was an agreement to like create a fictional scene in order to build more heat for the movie. Like, I wasn't actually submitting a score via videotape to Walter Day. Like, that never happened. Like, this was done just for the movie. And what was on the videotape I handed Walter Day on screen, was WWE wrestling.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Right. So he claims that the 1047 performance, which is what's the 1,047,000 score that he held the number one position on Donkey Kong for a while. He says that score was never submitted via videotape. That score was recorded live, and that the scene in King of Kong where he is seen handing the videotape to Walter Day is not as it appears, that scene exists only for the purpose of something designed to, like, make audiences mad. Like, Billy Mitchell essentially asserts that he's, like, playing a villain in King of Kong, and that he was doing things at the behest of the filmmakers, and that, like, that he was hamming up and, like, deliberately being a shithead, and that he was basically part of telling a story about how the world was stacked against Steve Wiebe. Now, the thing is that if the problem was only confined to stuff that happened around the making of this movie at this point over a decade ago, then I think that, like, Billy Mitchell, as ridiculous as he is, might actually have a point of conversation. But, like, the malfeasance described by Billy Mitchell has existed outside of the making of this movie. Like, there have been tampered scores that were submitted using MAME, after this movie and before this movie. Like, Billy Mitchell and videotape scores and Billy Mitchell and MAME scores are not things that happened only in the context of the movie. So if he's like, oh, I was being an asshole in the movie because they wanted me to be an asshole, like, I was helping, get what they wanted in the movie. It's like, well, these two things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, Billy Mitchell. Like, you can be a shithead at the behest of these people who are making a documentary because they're basically baiting you into giving them the narrative that they want to portray on film. But you can also be submitting bad scores. Like, they aren't, one does not mean that the other is not true. So, like, I can appreciate that he's claiming, like, okay, like, that, like, you're saying that you were doing this, but, it seems like both was happening. Like, there's now a couple of people who are saying that, like, Billy Mitchell was intentionally hamming it up in the movie in order to, like, give the filmmakers what they wanted, but he was also submitting falsified scores. So, I'm now deep in the weeds on this document. I'm trying to find it. And this stuff about trying to burn Jace Hall is, like, really bad.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to work, which is the worst part. They're going to all this effort.
Walter Day has spent enough time, like, trying to protect these, like, old high score dudes. And I don't think anybody really wants to bring down Walter Day because he has this look of, like, being a kindly grandpa, and he wears this referee shirt. People like this kindly grandpa and this referee shirt. I mean, he essentially been turned into a character now in a fucking Disney movie. He's like such a beloved figure. Like in Wreck-It Ralph, the character of the guy who owns the arcade.
It's like an homage to, like, Walter Day.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Nobody wants to say Walter Day is bad or that Walter Day has propped up bad dudes. But it really comes down to Walter Day. It comes down to the fact that, like, Walter Day has been complicit in, like, propping up the scores of bad dudes now.
Mm-hmm.
For, like,
it's
years.
It's like the Meryl Streep, like, situation.
Yeah. It's this whole, like, how can I bury so-and-so without burying Walter Day? Like, people keep on trying to figure that out. That's the code that people keep on trying to crack. Like, is it possible that I can bury this old-time high-score shithead without burying Walter Day? I'm like, at some point, we're gonna have to bury Walter Day. If we want to try and clean up the sanctity of people chasing those high scores on those old video games, like the arcade stuff, we have to go after him. I don't know how hard you bury Walter Day. There's certainly, like, a level of attention and notoriety and interest that emerged around the idea of, like, high scores for video games and being the best at video games that I don't think necessarily wouldn't have existed without the original Twin Galaxies arcade and without Walter Day. Like, I mean, fucking Time magazine flew a photographer to take a picture of all these guys sitting outside of Twin Galaxies and then recreated the photo like 35 years later. Like, it's kind of a famous image. Like, please look at these fucking nerds. Now, please look at these fucking nerds like 35 years later. So, like, I do think that he did contribute to the history of, like, the idea of, like, achievement in video games, like, being a thing worth measuring and keeping track of, but just, I don't think he can be trusted to keep track of it.
Well, yeah. That only makes sense.
It fucking sucks because, like, he definitely contributed to the notoriety in a very big way. It seems like a lot of his goals were propping up his friends.
Yeah. He'll probably be in the history books. There's not going to be a moratorium on his name, but, like, they're going to tell the truth about him.
Yeah.
It only sounds reasonable.
Oh, fuck. I just wrote it. It wasn't track and field. It was dragster.
It was dragster.
It was fucking dragster, and it was Todd Rogers. Thank God. Ugh. And I remember it was like David Crane, the guy who designed dragster, was like, yeah, that score that Rogers claims he has isn't possible. When you have the guy who made the video game, like at Activision, because it was like one of Activision's first games, was like, yeah, that score that he claims he has, it just can't be done. And so, like, for years, like, Todd Rogers was, like, running around calling David Crane a liar. You're calling the guy who designed fucking Pitfall a liar, you savage? Like...
He made the game, wouldn't he know?
Exactly. And he's like, oh, well, you know, he just doesn't know. Like, oh, man. Like, don't... And this 156-page document, which is just, like, an absolute grimoire of fucking lunacy... And the fact that, like, Billy Mitchell thought that the thing to do is on the very first page is put a picture of himself surrounded by chicks. Like, this is what you do. If you're Billy Mitchell, this is the way you think you live your life. You think that you, like...
He puts that photo on the front. It's like, yeah, there's no way they think I cheated when I have this on the cover.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, that's it. That's the icing on the cake right there. Like,
Jesus.
Fucking lunatic. God damn. So, yes, Tegan. Easily the most important story of the week. This fucking bullshit.
Feel better?
Definitely. Rocky, do you have anything anywhere near as dumb?
Nope.
I mean, Billy Mitchell's tough to top, to be honest. But there's some good in the world. And it's actually from Valve. So, like, you know, like, buckle up, I guess. Valve put out their annual seasonal update for Dota 2, and they put the write-up out letting people know what's going to be on the patch notes, things that they're doing this year. And one of the things I want to read directly from the update. It says, Valve had a special update post regarding bans specifically. This update includes a few different ban waves for bad actors. The first ban wave is to players with exceptionally low behavior scores. We will continue to do regular ban waves for users who fall into the small percentage of the community. Users that reach this low level of behavior in the game are too big attacks on the rest of the community and are not wanted. Totally makes sense. The second case where users will be banned today is anyone detected violating the Steam service agreement, which prevents the purchase or sale of Steam accounts. Buying accounts to get a higher or lower rank is not allowed and causes negative side effects for the play experience of others. This doesn't catch all account sales that happen, but we think we have caught enough to take some action. Oh, this is also important. They changed their rank queues so that you have to register with a Steam account with a phone number. That's important. If you don't have a phone number attached to your Steam account, you can't queue for ranked play. And also they said that they're banning players who have been detected using exploits to gain an advantage over other players. In the coming weeks, we will be refining the detection of algorithms for these abusive behaviors and will begin issuing weekly bans that will go into effect without advance notice to violating accounts. Accounts that we ban now also have the associated phone number permanently blacklisted from being able to access ranked matchmaking. So, they're putting out bans. That's okay. People put out bans. But a couple of people who have been banned from the service have found that they have been banned for the next 19 years. When they log in to play Dota 2 ranked, when they try to queue up, the game says, no, you can try again on January 1st, 2038.
Hell yeah. Get the fuck out.
Some of these brave, idiotic souls decided to go to Reddit and say, hey, I got this 19-year ban. Anyone know what this is about? And so they looked them up, and it turns out, hey, you're a piece of shit. That's why you don't get to play. It should have been a 30-year ban. There's a really good one. They found this one guy who apparently has a 60% leave rate for games, which means that he joins a game with 9 other people, and 6 out of 10 times he quits at some point through it. He apparently has some pretty egregious games on it where he's like 0 and 22, and this isn't a new account. Like, it's not like a fresh, like, learning of the game. Like, he was definitely trolling. Of analysis of his last 100 matches, 46 wins, and he has an average of 10 deaths a game. And it's just, oh my god. And everyone's just roasting these guys. And it's really amazing. It's 60% of his lifetime games that he's been kicked out. And so a bunch of people are just like, yeah, good riddance. Like, see you in 2038, asshole. So, Steam has decided to really slam the ban hammer on a couple of these people. And that's pretty fucking wild that you just can't play this game for the next 20 years. I don't think Dota's gonna miss these people. And the fact that their phone numbers are attached to these bans means that for them to continue playing Dota 2, they would need to get a new phone number to register on a different Steam account. They have to make a new Steam account, get a new phone number, and then re-register, which isn't that high of a feat. It may not actually require them to get a new phone, but who knows?
That's fucking wild.
Brian, are there some people you've ever played with Hearthstone that you think Blizzard could benefit from banning for the next 20 years?
Yes. Rocky, I thought you were going to ask me hard questions. Okay, so there was a thing that happened in Hearthstone for a while, and it's been a while since I've seen it. I think the last time I saw it was last summer. So I'll be playing against a person, and then it's like they go to pull a card from their hand to put into play, and it'll just appear to be that their card that they're about to play is just floating in front of them, forever.
Oh.
And I don't know how they do it, but they create the appearance of this hovering card, so that way it appears to be that your opponent's turn never ends. It never ropes them out. It never ends their turn. The problem is that you have no idea how long their turn actually has been going. So even if you do something like, say, restart the whole Hearthstone client, relaunch the game, and try and get back into the game as quickly as possible to see if the
screen just froze up or whatever.
Right. You could be like, surprise! Turns out you lost that game 15 minutes ago because of this exploit. The hovering card bug exploit. Those people. 19 years. Fuck them. Feed them beans.
Oh, man. I think, permanent bans should be a real fear, especially in competitive environments. I'm not even really sure if there should be some measurable level of redemption that's available. Because there's definitely, some players, for example, Tyler 1 in League was, incredibly toxic for a long time. And arguably he could have, been given a permanent ban. And even at the time where he was, streaming, right? And he was just being paid to be a professional dickhead. Like Dr. Disrespect, for example. It's probably a good example as well. He's actually a good player, and he's softened over the years, but, in his, rise, he was just being a dickhead on the internet. That's all he was doing. And he was a pretty good player, and he wasn't, any more than, really garden variety toxic. He was just doing it on camera.
Right.
But, someone like that probably could have been permanently banned, and they definitely would have begged for a way back. And, some of those situations, they just end up being brought into the folds. Tyler 1, effectively works for Riot now. He does his own streaming, that's where his remedy comes from, but whenever Riot does an event, they want Tyler 1 to show up for the meme. That's just how they go. But outside of that, your garden variety dickhead, maybe there shouldn't be a way for them to come back in the game. There shouldn't be, a backdoor or, some people that they just are able to apologize to or, an essay that they can write and they can come back. Maybe they should actually just be gone forever. But that would definitely change the scope of how, games work.
I saw a really interesting thing said this week about just the concept of forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And the person that was writing it was talking about it in the context of Justin Trudeau.
Sure.
And talking about the larger conversation around other people who had done the same thing, the governor of Virginia, and what they said about it was that what people confuse is the possibility of forgiveness with the idea of forgiveness somehow being a requirement. And the other thing that people confuse is forgiveness with access. Let's say you walk into a bar and you cause a scene, Rocky, and you throw glasses around and you take your pants off and, you're terrible.
I assume I cut myself with my now bare legs in this glass-filled bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real terrible. And, let's say they toss you out on your bare ass.
It's terrifying. Go ahead.
And, you get sober, and then the next day you come back and you knock on the door of the closed bar, and then the owner comes and opens the door, and you offer your apology, and he's like, you know what? You're forgiven. That doesn't mean that the owner of the bar has any obligation, even though he's forgiven you, to let you back into the bar. It's two different things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's two different concepts. And what this person was saying, which I thought was really this interesting idea, is that forgiveness and access need to be separated intellectually in order for people to, think about them more accurately. And then the idea that people seem to think that forgiveness should either never be given or always forgiven. The way we should treat forgiveness is some kind of binary.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that was, of course, a whole bunch of alt-right trolls who were like, well, are you going to forgive Justin Trudeau? Are you going to forgive Justin Trudeau? Are you going to forgive Justin Trudeau? And it's hey, alt-right troll, what if the world forgives Justin Trudeau? Not even say the world has, but what if it has? It's well, if you're going to forgive Justin Trudeau for this, then are you going to forgive all of these other people? And no. No. Because that's not how that works. This idea that everything should always be treated as a binary when we're talking about emotional response and sincerity of contrition. Just let's say you're a shithead in an online video game and you do bad things and you drag down the user experience of other people. I don't think it's necessarily impossible that you can't learn that you weren't bad. And maybe you can go play another video game and you could take the life lessons learned from being bad to being a good sport in another game. Banned forever from Dota, you've learned what it means to be a bad sport. Cool. Go play League. Go be a good guy in League. Be a community leader in League now that you know what being a bad person is like. Dota does not owe you getting back in. It's two different things.
I can respect that.
I don't think that necessarily shutting the door to competitive play forever on all platforms is necessarily meaningful or accomplishes anything. But definitely Valve does not owe them coming back in any sooner than 19 years. That's if Valve wants to do that, you do you, Valve. Hopefully that makes the bad guys more scared. Oh man, if I get caught, I'm really fucked.
If I get caught, I gotta get a new phone number, and I've had this one since I was 12.
I had to go play League with those other plebes.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
oh
funny.
Man. Fuck, I gotta play Smite now?
Oh my god, that would be really funny. Then they're a challenger level Smite player, but it'll always have a hole in their heart because they know they really just want to play Dota again. They can't. That sounds
the same. There's no real lanes in Smite. And then they just sob into their keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I think that's the news, guys.
Well, then, I guess we transition from Valve to Valve?
Sounds about right. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So, what came out on Steam today?
Nothing. Everything?
Somewhere in between. We have 10 titles on Steam today. First up is Who Is You? Who Is You, a game in which you have to help the main character figure out himself. Create a character, make the right choice from the proposed ones, control your budget, take care of your health, take a rest in time, and return to the painted world.
I'm sorry, the painted world?
Make the right choice from the proposed ones, control your budget, take care of your health. Let's see here, bullet points, several quizzes in a comic style, travel map with many activities, unusual storyline.
Mm-hmm.
See here, create a character based on your preferences, put the best features of you in him, or maybe on the contrary, spoil his fate. But remember, after surgery, hallucinations are possible due to the use of pain medication.
What?
And much can be imagined in contact with aliens and the harsh life of slavery and playing blackjack. What the fuck? What?
Hey, what the hell?
and maybe even to get a champion's title in the ring. There is a totally not authorized use of a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio.
What? What if it's actually authorized? Like how Wale got like Jerry Seinfeld to sign off on those samples.
You know what? If it is, then like, good on you, guy, I guess. Also, I don't think that picture of Putin was authorized by Mr. Putin, but I guess that's different.
Hey man, this guy might know some people. He might be more powerful than we can imagine.
But like, there's a screen, and it appears to be like floating silhouette boxer versus like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Why are we in Agrabah?
Yeah.
Hey, OP, why are we in Agrabah?
This is actually like fucking Agrabah. Holy shit, what?
Yeah, it's legit.
Yep.
Like, that's Agrabah. That's where that is.
Yep. Next up is Super Driver.
Sure.
An arcade game in the style of retro games. Fast, fun, and incredibly challenging game.
You gonna go for it? You gonna go for the world record, Brian?
I'm not. Arcade racing with a top view, forcing you to dodge falling boulders. When are falling boulders a problem in fucking... Alright, never mind.
When aren't they a problem?
Dead killer whales, crumbling asphalt, jump over springboards, collect fuel, and push the button forward to get to the finish line.
I'm sorry, this game drops dead killer whales on you?
I think I just saw a picture of what it's calling a killer whale.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't look like a killer whale. It looks like there was, like, say, one whale sprite available in the pre-built asset package they bought. And that's the one they went with. Next up is Roots of the World for $10.99. The game tells the story of an anomalous and strange place, the forest. Located far from cities and nearby tracks, the story begins in the distant past, but the narration is conducted from the moment of the meeting of the main characters, Trisha and Harland. Let's see here. Well, they'll face many trials. Players will have to sink into a deep history, unravel secrets of the forest, and make a decisive choice that will predetermine the fate, not only the heroes, but also the whole forest. Is this video game anime? This video game might be anime.
That sounds like anime.
Carefully created history, characters, motivation of characters. Variability in different game situations, multiple endings, large number of secrets.
Secrets.
This appears to be both an adventure game and a visual-ass visual novel. Next up is Bounce Ball 3D.
No. Mm-mm.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Next up is Far From Orbit. A short and sweet roguelike bullet hell game. Amass points, upgrade your ship, conquer creatures that oppose you. There's no progression in this game. Every run is a fresh start.
It's a roguelike.
There's no progression in this game. Last Chance VR. This is a simple and easy VR game.
Yeah, it's called Last Chance.
Just enjoy yourself inside the VR world.
It's your last chance, Brian. Enjoy yourself.
Man,
Quick, Brian, enjoy yourself.
very-
Quick! The world's gonna end!
You're running out of time, Brian.
Yeah. Next up is Hentai Best Girls.
Heck yeah! That's my jam!
God damn it.
This is a puzzle with several levels of difficulty and beautiful art book. All characters appearing in this game are over 18 years of age.
Yeah, they gotta put that there, otherwise, you know.
Yeah. We definitely are in a new world for Valve. The Steam store is different now, guys! The developers describe the content like this. Nakedness. All characters appearing in this game are over 18. They put it in there again.
They gotta.
The game will plunge into the memories of beautiful girls and see some moments in their life. There is misspelled.
That sounds really invasive.
Collect the puzzle and open their memories. Good luck. Puzzle game, artworks, nice music, Steam achievements. And, I think that we've encountered this phenomenon before. Keyboard H to complete level.
Yeah.
I believe the way it was put before was press H to win.
It was press H to win before, yeah.
Yes, now it's press H, complete level. Just get them naked. Next up is Super Space Slayer 2. Save the galaxy from the Demon King Luciferus. Wait, this game's got FMV in it?
What is this, 1994?
Their trailer is full of FMV.
Oh my god.
Based on the legendary Google Play title. Nope. Done. We're done.
They said legendary Google Play title?
They sure did.
Oh man, that...
Next up is Venandi in Silva, which apparently has already been taken down because when I try and click through to it, it just takes me back to the start page. And then lastly is Start Button. Start Button is a can change the Windows desktop start key win button logo of the gadget.
Sure! Sounds great.
Yep, Start Button is a can change the Windows desktop start key of the win button. The mouse moved to the Start button on the right click can pop-up window a variety of key patterns to choose from. Custom DIY patterns are also supported.
How much are they tricking people into paying for this?
Here's where it gets truly insidious. What if I told you this was free?
Ooh. What?
No, but hold on. I know the trick. There's microtransactions for the particular patterns.
Doesn't appear to be so.
What's the graphics card requirements?
It does not require a graphics card.
Maybe it's just malware or spyware?
That's my guess.
Just old-fashioned malware?
Old-fashioned malware.
Bitcoin's almost over anyways.
I mean, some other stuff which this developer has released on the Steam store includes such hot hits as Music Desktop, a unique video player that can set up any MTV or video to be played in the background of your desktop. Transparent Taskbar, Extend Desktop, and then an old classic, KMP. KMP is a computer game live broadcasting age that combines with live software, can better interact with netizens, enhancing the live experience.
So it's 100% spyware. There's no way it's not.
Oh yeah. This person appears to just be dumping spyware left and right onto the fucking store. And the stuff is either free or like $1 or less. Fair, Tegan. I think we've actually got some shit this week for our cats to grade.
Yeah, we got a letter, a tweet actually, from cousin of the show, Joe Spiro. He writes, at Impossible Coin, are there any gameplay genres you wish were set in a different aesthetics genres? I've been playing through Dark Souls, for the first time, and wish there were a purely lighthearted entry in the genre. Basically, I want a Jackie Chan game where bonfires start and end ground tape marks, and you increase your soul multiplier while fighting by doing parkour with Tony Hawk mechanics.
So like a genre of game
with a different aesthetic.
With a different aesthetic.
I actually would be interested in a dress-up game that had a more streetwear punk focus, I think. Because most dress-up games are, you know, because of their, like, core demographic,
right,
are designed to be, like, really cutesy or, like, pretty or, like, really focused on high fashion.
Sure.
Especially for girls. But I feel like having, like, a really cool, like, streetwear dress-up game, like Drip or Drown or something, I think that would be a fun thing to, like, fuck with. It probably wouldn't be my favorite game, but I would probably appreciate that entry into the genre because it'd be something I could probably get into more easily.
Tegan?
I'm just trying to figure out if, like, basically what Rocky wanted was the dressing part of Grand Theft Auto, but with better fashion.
Maybe.
But with, like, Splatoon fashion?
That could be cool. If Splatoon's, like, aesthetic was put on, like, the dress-up game of... Honestly, even, like, Love Nikki. Like, if it was just, like, Splatoon Love Nikki, that could be really cool. But...
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
The game's kind of already oriented that way. It's just not marketed as such. Where, like, you play, like, Splatoon matches, and, like, you get better guns or whatnot, but eventually you're just farming for new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the clothes confer certain benefits, but you also want to make a fit that looks cool. And I wish, like, making a fit that looked cool could be, like, a better appreciated in that, like, in like the mechanics of the game rather than just like the environment.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I can go again. I think I'd also like a disaster type, like, I forget what the golf game version of it, but basically like Burnout, where you're setting up dominoes and your job is just to fly in and blow everything up. We're like more cartoony instead of like really blocky polygon styles. Like if I could get like something closer to like a hand-drawn or really like bright, spongy look, something across like the aesthetic of like Scribblenauts or like Cuphead, but with like Burnout style mechanics, I think that also would be pretty fun to play. It'd be a shit ton of work though.
So, I want an Animal Crossing like set in a graveyard. Because a couple different things about the inherent nature of Animal Crossing. In Animal Crossing, you are always the one human surrounded by a bunch of animals, which means that like you are like inherently different than them.
Mm-hmm.
You may be welcomed, you may be liked, but there is something which makes you different than them. I think that with a graveyard, there's already a conceit that makes that work. So, like, if you have the person who is the caretaker for the cemetery, that easily makes them the one person. And consider that lots of, like, old, very large cemeteries have the caretaker's house on premises. That works, too. Also, like, a graveyard would be a great place for a day-night cycle and could give you, as the caretaker, even more to do with the way that they interact with the world. So, like, by day, you are taking care of the cemetery, you know, you're mowing, you're pulling weeds, you're making sure that the flowers that people have left are nice, and, like, sometimes you see people who come to visit the cemetery, and so, like, there's a layer of interaction there. You're like, oh, okay, look, that's Mrs. Rogers. She's come to visit Mr. Rogers. You know, that kind of thing. And then it could very well be that after dark, you have an entirely different play experience because now you're interacting with the residents of the cemetery, the ghosts.
Ooh, the ghosts and ghoulies.
You've got the ghosts, and like I still think that the ghosts should be like have like a variety of personalities, just like you would have in like Animal Crossing, you know, where like some are like braggarts, some are like shy. You know, like one of the fun things in Animal Crossing is like, who are my neighbors? What are their personalities? And the personalities are usually these sweet little like 1 or 2 note sketches. They're not like really complex personalities. It's just like, okay, so-and-so has like these 2 defining characteristics, and that's what they are. But I think that when you have an environment where you have all of your neighbors come out at night, but you also have visitors who would come during the day, that might have an opportunity to like tell like tiny stories. Like when you know that somebody's going to come move to your town in Animal Crossing, like how do you know that you're getting a new resident?
There's like a little thing by where their house will be that says like it's sold or whatever. Or in some of the games, I think you got like a little shot of like scaffolding going up where they're like, hey, we're going to be building here. Tomorrow someone else will be here.
Right. So like imagine if during the daytime part of the game, you know, like there's somebody visiting a grave who you've never seen before. And so you go say hi to the caretaker. And they're like, as the caretaker, they're like, oh, well, I just wanted to stop by and, you know, see my dad. You know, I really felt his presence more than usual today. And then as you wander the cemetery that night, there's Dad floating about.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
And I think that it could create like a challenging sense of balance, especially if like the way that the ghosts want the cemetery to be is different than the way that the people want the cemetery to be, which would create kind of like a feng shui challenge.
Okay.
If the people want it one way and the ghosts want it another.
Like the ghosts want it spooky and the people want it nice.
Right.
The ghosts are like, no, but I want the rotting flowers. And they're like, why didn't you clear these old flowers for my dad's grave? What the hell?
Right.
Ooh.
I'd probably want to give it like as far as the visual appearance goes, like, there was a game for the Xbox 360 from Ska Studios called The Dishwasher. Honestly, if it would just look like any Ska Studios game. If it looked like a Ska Studios game, I would play this game all the time. They did like The Dishwasher and Sultan Sanctuary and Charlie Murder. So, yes, Animal Crossing, set in a cemetery with the visual appearance of a Ska Studios game. That is my answer. Tegan?
I want an action-adventure Splatoon game.
How would that be different from, like, the single-player campaign?
The single-player campaign is a platformer, technically.
Okay.
It's not action-adventure. I want, like, open world, full exploration, like, visiting different towns, participating in different, like, style battles, meeting different, like, whoever the different MCs are for the different regions, like, the whole world exploration.
So, like, something closer to, like, Splatoon X Pokemon. But, like, the gameplay's still like Splatoon matches.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be Pokemon, because you're not catching anything.
Well, no, I mean, like, the idea that you're dropped into, like, one corner of this world that is, like, already defined. You go through it, and there are, like, things you're supposed to do in a particular city. Like, for example, you would challenge the gym, or you would do your particular match. But there's also, like, other people you'd interact with, whether it's to progress your own plot or to explore their stories.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Yes.
That could be cool. Like, it'd be like Splatoon World Tour or something.
Yeah, like, but also, like, I don't know how ranking would go, and I wouldn't know how, like, I would assume if there was a particular area you really, like, enjoyed after you completed whatever the, like, story plot line was, you could just, like, hang out on those different servers the entire time if you wanted. For, like, versus matches. So, like, if you really hated, like, Callie and Mari, and they were the representatives for, like, whatever the equivalent of, like, one of the U.S. cities was or whatever, you could go to, like, a different town and meet different idols and, like, hang out in their thing instead.
Well, I think there are... In MMOs, they have, like, the idea of, like, factions that you could use. Mm-hmm. And maybe even the new Pokemon Sword and Shield actually gave me those kinds of vibes in the sense that, like, Pokemon gym battles are actually, like, kind of like competitive contests, like soccer teams or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, like, the gym leaders, they're assigned to, like, the city's, like, local club. And they have jerseys and whatnot representing that town. And presumably you could do something similar in Splatoon. Where, like, the, I don't know, Octoplaza, like, tentacles or whatever. And, like, you just sign with them, and then you take that, like, banner into matches or something.
Got it, okay.
I guess the cats need to grade this mail.
Yeah, the cat should grade this piece of mail.
Toshiro gives this sleeping the entire afternoon on the one pillow on the love seat. And Gogo gives this a shaved asshole.
Is that all Gogo's gonna give tonight?
Well, Gogo's had a week.
Is Gogo okay?
Gogo had a week.
Gogo had a week?
She had to go to the doctor, got her butthole shaved.
What a mood. Poor thing. Nico's gonna give this sitting on top of the drawing pad so that you can't actually draw anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at you like, what do you mean you want me to move? And Roman is going to raise his head to glare at you as you enter the room, but then not do anything more than give, like, a disgruntled pert.
Cats.
Them's good cats.
Okay, we have one more piece of mail. It is from Detective Freakachu on Twitter, and they ask, Impossible Coin, when Brian worked at Babbage's, did he have to wear a collared shirt and tie? Because I remember when Babbage's employees had to wear a professional dress. Brian, I think this was directed specifically at you.
Yeah, did you have to wear a shirt and tie, Brian?
I did.
Would you expect that in the retro reimagining of GameStop when they parody a Babbage's? Like, for example, if you saw, like, someone in a GameStop polo as opposed to wearing a collared shirt and tie, you'd be like, fuck this, and, like, leave or whatever.
I would need to see collared shirts and ties.
Okay.
Yep.
Collared shirts and ties specifically.
Yeah. And
are we talking like a polo with a tie, or are we talking like a full-on button-up?
Yeah, they're wearing an Oxford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're going to need to be in Oxford with a tie. The name badge is not a lanyard. Lanyards are out. The name badge is a pinback name badge that is worn over the shirt pocket. And I'm going to need them to bring back form-fed printer paper. It's very important.
That's important.
That is important.
Really?
Also, I need to be able to buy reliably at Babbage's America's Software headquarters. I need to buy a box of 3.5-inch floppy disks.
Why? What for?
Oh, God.
Rocky, I need them.
Are they suffering enough?
I'm trying to understand, man.
Just what? I just remember the things that were like profit leaders. But when I was a young lad working at Babbage's, people would come in to buy a little baby junior son of a bitch a game for a Sega Genesis. And while they're there, they'd be like, oh, okay, and I need 2 boxes of floppies, and I'll take this box of printer paper.
Okay, what if they, sold you, a commemorative floppy disk in a frame or something?
I'll accept that.
Okay.
I will accept that.
It's got to be a fancy floppy disk, though.
I want a Babbage's flop. I want a Babbage's branded floppy disk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to say, I remember my time at Babbage's or something.
Guys, I'm so bummed out. I have none of my name badges from when I worked there.
Oof.
It absolutely kills me. It was my first job, and the company has been through so many facelifts since when I worked there that it doesn't look anything at all when I worked there. The company that my co-host works for looks nothing like the company that I spent my teenage years with. And I just wish I had some mementos. But when you're 16 and you're like, I'm just here for the video games, you don't realize that what you're actually there for is the memories. I remember finishing employee training and getting a certificate, which had fancy, pattern on the edge and a little gold seal. And
Really?
Yep. And it was signed by the president of the company for realsies. I remember I got my certificate. It was signed by Gary Cusin, the president. And it was for success.
What the
And it was
fuck?
Yeah, for successfully completing the Babbage's technical training program. And there were so few stores in the company that all the store numbers were either 2-digit or 3-digit. It was very easy to memorize what all the store numbers were in the company, not just the ones in say your district. And I knew oh yeah, I could reliably call the store in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and that they would have things I was looking for. And it just there was a look, there was a vibe. And with all this entertainment that has, come out in the last several years, where they have these big showy scenes where things happen in retro mall areas. Apparently the whole purpose of Stranger Things season 3 is just to put those little fucking kids in a mall and have them run around a mall, and so that way everybody who's watching can be like, oh look, a mall, and feel nostalgia toward various storefronts. I have yet to see anybody exploit Babbage's nostalgia, and it's real. It's out there. There's the stores had a look. You look at a Babbage's and you're like, yeah, man, big vibe.
Actually, weren't these pictures in? Oh no, it wasn't a Nintendo Direct. It was a Polygon video talking about why Nintendo prices don't go down. Yeah, but I did see this store recently, yesterday.
Not sure it would have been that picture. That picture there is from a private Facebook group, which is for old Babbage's employees to sit around and talk about their Babbage's memories.
That's nice, but I'm just talking about the general storefront, not this particular picture.
Oh, yeah. The store manager at Babbage's had to wear a jacket, so that was how you could tell the manager from the employees and assistant manager. So, employees wore a tie and a collared shirt, and the manager would wear a jacket as well.
That's how you define yourself as the alpha.
That's right. You're like, please witness this silverback.
Oh, okay.
What, Tegan?
Okay. I don't know. The way he's in this frame, I feel unsettled. He's just like, hi. I don't know how to he feels like a cryptid. I don't know how to explain that vibe.
Honk.
I don't know what you just did, but like...
So, Brian, would you goof on this man as a goose? Like, if there was a Babbage's level in the Untitled Goose Game...
Oh, sorry, did you just call it the Untitled Goose Game or the Entitled Goose Game? Because I think both are right. Yeah.
Both are right. You know what I said.
If I was the goose, I think I'd hog. I think that you're required to hog if you're the goose.
Honk.
And should I put some of these pictures up on our Facebook?
I mean, that would make sense, because otherwise no one knows what we're talking about right now.
Okay, they would just be bad radio. So I'll put some pictures on our Facebook.
Yeah.
The last picture I shared is from a storeroom inside of Babbage's, which I think probably speaks to both the long-term viability problems that Babbage always has had, and now has this GameStop, where they're like, look at all this bullshit we bought. You could see clearly in the front of the frame, like a stack of copies of fucking Mario Paint. Like, plain as day on this middle row. And you're just like, man, ain't nobody in there trying to buy all that Mario Paint. Just not happening. It's just not happening.
I kind of, like, am a little upset that Mario Paint didn't end up in, like, more schools. Because, like, you know, Mario Teaches Typing definitely made it. And that's really cool. But, like, Mario Paint was definitely, like, a pretty robust tool as far as, like, digital painting goes. I mean, MS Paint probably has more, like, art attributed to it, but, like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, Mario Paint could have been a vibe.
Mm.
They probably would have needed a peripheral, though. Maybe that would have cost more investment. Who knows?
Well, I think that's it. Rock, you want to take us home?
Hey, sure, yeah. So, everyone, this is our show. It's called Impossible Coin, and we do it every week. We'd appreciate it if you, you told us how we're doing. If you like what we did, or even if you didn't, leave a review wherever you found this thing, whether that be on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or Spotify. But we'd appreciate it if you left it on iTunes, because, we're trying to focus there at the moment. There's music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It's produced by our friend Big Sach, our other cousin of the show. Big Sach. You can find his work at soundcloud.com/Big Sach NJ, or if you want to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, you can find him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. We also have a t-shirt and logos designed by the woman, the myth, the legend, Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and maybe consider throwing a couple bucks at her Patreon, because she deserves it. She puts out some really good shit. We are also on social media. Brian's usually on Facebook. I'm usually on Twitter. And Tegan's usually on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. Did I miss anything? I feel like I skipped something.
I think it was all in there. Yep.
Yeah, that
All right.
sounds like everything.
I'll leave it alone.
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out, and peace.